So, in today's Kickstarter Oracle Tarot Showcase ASMR video, total mouthful, I want to highlight a Kickstarter that just got underway called the Ventum Arcanae. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing that right. The Bird Tarot. It's created by Taylor Hultquist-Todd, and she has, as she even says here, 7th tarot Kickstarter. She has a variety of decks that are in a series. So I'll show you down, or you'll see down at the bottom, but her artwork is fantastic. The altar cloths she has, best altar cloths I have ever used. They're like not too, I sent her a message the other day, they're not too thin, they're not too thick, they're not too silky, they're not too coarse, they're just a real, and they're beautiful. The artwork's beautiful, but like the feel of them is just perfect. If you ever watch any of my other videos, most of the time I'm actually using one of her altar cloths. I think usually the earth one, just because, like I said, I love them so much. So anyway, she has a new Kickstarter, the Bird Tarot. So we are going to read through this, go through this. So it says the final 80 card illustrated deck in an elemental tarot series focused on animals and our natural world. It just started today, the 16th of June. It'll go for a month, or, just about a month. I guess that is a month. And as you can see, it's going to hit its goal. It's only a few $1,000s short, and it's literally the first day. So if something you like, definitely go and back it. As I've done recently, again, because of tariffs and things, I like to highlight where people are at. Tariffs may still impact it, depending on where people are having their decks printed, if they're in China, etc. But she's coming from Philadelphia. So let's see. Hello all. My name is Taylor, and welcome to my 7th tarot Kickstarter. And like I've said before, I'm all for supporting new creators too. But if you've never used Kickstarter before and you're hesitant as a buyer, it's always nice if you know someone has done it before, because they know the ropes. You can actually check and see the comments from old ones. Hey, have they been good about posting updates? Are they good about whatever? So it's always, if you're looking for like a safe, I want to back something from Kickstarter. I've never done it before. I want to feel safe about it. Having someone who's done it before is awesome. And she's done it 7 times. And so these are some of her decks here. Or she's doing it sometimes. These are the other 6. So as you can see, the blue one, the green one, and the red one are part of this element. So fire, earth, water. This is myth and legends. And then she has a dog and cat one that are in black and white. And so let's see. The series so far: dogs, cats, myths, ocean, earth, and fire, all available with their coordinating tarot cloths and sticker sheets at taylorburn.com. And I apologize if I'm mispronouncing your name if you ever see this. She's also on Etsy, and so I'll make sure in the description to include all the links that are relevant. She says, it's surreal to say that we've reached this point in my tarot series. Following Ocean in 2019, Earth in 2023, and last year's Fire Tarot, the Air deck is in more ways than one a fitting end to this massive undertaking. Aligned with the sage ideals of Aquarius, air is the wisest and oldest of elements. An enigmatic element, air is invisible to us. Despite that, it exists in abundance throughout our universe. With the assistance of other elements, it freezes, smokes, blows, creates dense clouds, and exhibits eons of patience. We need to carry it with us to deep waters and tall peaks. Air is something humans and many other creatures would quickly perish without. And it says details of the Ace of Pentacles, the Arbol de Piedra, a large vendifact wind-carved stone from Bolivia. Oh wow. not as cool. It's really cool. Over millennia, vast stone forms and frozen glaciers take shape under its power. Humans rely on it for our basic survival, to run wells and generate power. Air is a force that surrounds us constantly, but cannot be touched. Our enormous and protective cushion of, and it's like this, she gives a provenance of where she found this information. So on Wikipedia, she found that the air is a combination of 78.08% nitrogen, 20.95% oxygen, 0.93% argon, and 0.04% carbon dioxide, plus some trace elements, keeps our flora and fauna thriving. This balance is what has nourished and created life on our planet. Without this exact recipe, we would not exist. See, I love her artwork. On her Instagram, she has videos. She may have it on her website too, but like videos of like, you know, where they're fast forwarded so you can see like the whole process really quickly about how she actually does these, and you know, you see the cross hatching. I'm not an artist, so I don't know like the technical terms, but it's just her style is so distinct and beautiful. So that's the detail of this strength card. It says a black wheat ear. No other creature is better suited to represent this domain other than birds. Made incredibly light through hollow bones and feathers, birds take advantage of our atmosphere. Their unique wings, which can range anywhere from the bee hummingbird's 4-inch wingspan to the enormous 12 inches of the wandering albatross, allow birds to master the invisible world around and above us. Detail of the 5 of Pentacles with bee hummingbirds. See that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They move around our Earth seamlessly, using air currents to traverse our planet and nesting in lofty, impassable heights. It's not just the sky birds have conquered. They also populate and sometimes happily coexist in our cities and settlements, the pigeon being a common backdrop to all busy city squares. Which also, by the way, pigeons are fascinating because we think of them as like trash birds. But if I remember right, we actually like domesticated them, you know, for use as messengers, and then we've just sort of forgotten them and treated them like trash, which I just think is sad. I remember when I heard about that, I was like, what? So anyway, that's not her on here, that's my little aside. It says they've also grown adept at sea life, critical for worldwide migrations over a planet's vast oceans. Birds are also the only class of animal endemic to all continents. Birds exist in mass in all temperate, tropic, and subarctic zones, but only the flightless penguin has evolved to comfortably call Antarctica home. Arctic terns also migrate from pole to pole, holding the record for the longest migration of any animal. They spread seeds, potentially create entire forests, and in some ways parallel to the wind they travel on, birds have helped shape our world. I'll also, by the way, another random aside, there was an article the other day about how like penguin poop in Antarctica, and I kid you not, might be partly like affect the atmosphere in positive ways, the way like cow methane does a negative way. Anyway, whatever, Google it, see what you find. I was just like amazed. Also, the other thing I'd say about this, just about her decks in general, is not just is her artwork very beautiful, but she's clearly done her research. Like in the books, you know, she'll talk about the creatures in her cards. So here's the detail of the 9 of Wands, penguins, and snowstorm. With that, here we are. It's surreal to have not only completed any tarot deck at all, but wrapping up this series has been an incredible and deeply fulfilling labor of love. It would have been impossible without you. I can't even begin to show my thanks and gratitude for the wonderful community that is built up around my tarots. I could say it 1,000,000 times and it would still feel like it was not enough. With that, let's move on to the star of the show, the deck. This is the detail of a Knight of Swords, a Northern Hawk Owl. What's I think really interesting about the way she shades is it gives so much, I feel like, dimension because of the different angles it makes them look very alive. So the birds, starting with the major arcana, and I'll just kind of try to move a little slower here so you can see some of the different birds. Sorry, I'm kind of, as I'm looking at them, I'm also trying to see. And it looks like too she has some, like, there may be a bird in here, I'm not sure, but that are wind related. I think it's a really cool idea to have used the tornado for the tower because it is so destructive. The suit of wands. Wands mean fire. Figuratively, wands can represent ignition, to light a fire in oneself and take action. To that end, I focus on desert habitats and the animals that share them. The royal court is almost always represented by my chosen biome. Well, oh, that's really cool. While the rest of the suit will stray a bit to capture a certain card's narrative. For example, the notoriously conflict-driven blue jays to signify the battling Five of Wands. That's cool. I always love hearing about artists' process. And you can hear my kitty as usual. She does not like it when I come in this room. The suit of cups. Water heavy, cups often call on oneself to look a little deeper and perhaps more critically inward. Water birds fit well in the dreamlike world of cups. With elegant necks and spindly stalks of legs, they seem otherworldly. There are a few departures from seabirds, such as the earth-browned kakapo, representing the similarly stuck symbology of the Four of Cups. Oh, that's sweet. I don't know if they're lovebirds or parakeets, the two. And the suit of pentacles, representing Earth, the royal court of pentacles stars some of the planet's flightless birds. Since they lack the ability to quickly escape, some flightless birds are impressive fighters. Others evolved without predators, negating the need for flight altogether. So actually, I'm not always like a pentacles person. I guess of all the suits I like, for whatever reason, like, don't like them as much. I don't know why. But I love seeing the different birds. Like, I think the one for the queen, I can't remember the name, but I think it might be in Australia. If it's the one I'm thinking about, they're actually like really crazy looking and clearly were once dinosaur. Like, I feel like of all the birds I've ever seen pictures of, look the most like, yep, that was once a dinosaur. Or, evolutionarily speaking. The suit of swords. So far, more or less shortly. Finally, some owls. Swords represent air, and I felt like these silent hunters have true power over this domain, slicing silently through the night to capture prey. I'm completing swords as the campaign proceeds. These will be shared as we go along. Yeah, I'm excited to see that. Other bits. Since I'm completing the swords, this also means I have some other cards and add-ons to complete. If you choose to pledge and follow along, I'll be sharing progress and finished work via updates and on Instagram. This includes the extra cards, a Goddess and Tranquility card, and I think she includes those like in all the different decks, like new ones, but like these sort of two quote-unquote extra cards. The altar cloth, which, like I said, her altar cloths are amazing. Like, even if you never got a deck, get one of her altar cloths. Backer image and sticker sheet. This is a peek at last year's fire deck with the goddess card, and it might be mispronouncing, featuring Pele. And there's the deck, previous heroes, and stretch goals. So like I say, you can see over here on the left, the sticker sheets, which are also lovely, although whenever I get beautiful stickers like that, I'm like, I don't want to use them because they're so special. Examples of the cards. And as you can see, all around are the different um, um, altar cloth patterns. On the back, that's the one that goes with the fire deck. This one that's like golden blue is it's called like the old one that went with the ocean. The new one that goes with the ocean deck is the one down on the far right, I believe. You can kind of see next to the cat, between the cat, yeah, like to the left of the cat, you can see the earth cloth. That might be my favorite. It's very sort of greens and golds. And then I believe the one here on the far left is the one for the myths and legends. I could be wrong, but if I remember right. And then, so that's the whole collection. And then here's the 3 elements that have come out so far. The Terra Arcanae is the Earth Tarot, the Ignis Arcanae, the Fire Tarot, and the Oceanum Arcanae, the Ocean Tarot. And again, here we go, those claws. Here you see on the left, you see each cloth with its deck. So the left is the cloth that goes there with the earth, the fire one with the fire, obviously, and over here on the right, the one that goes with the ocean. You can even kind of see in the picture, like they're so soft. And it says the air deck will coordinate with my elements specifically. Same quality, size, and gilding. All specifics should be explained under the tiers, but please let me know if you need any clarifications. This will be an organic, growing Kickstarter with many updates, so we will also be discussing fun stuff like stretch goals soon. I'm aiming for delivery in November, but stay tuned as we proceed for more concrete info and all sorts of fun stuff. Thank you all again and again. She has risks and challenges. Like I said, she's done this many times. So, again, if you've never used Kickstarter and you're hesitant, but you really want this deck, I think she's a pretty sure bet. If you're trying to dip your water into supporting Kickstarters. Long-lasting design. I create my decks to last. They are fully bespoke, completely designed from box to booklet by myself. These cards are thick, very durable, and shuffle easily. The box is extremely durable as well, and is designed to be part of the deck, protecting it over years and years of use. And she has information about distribution and recyclability, and also, I'm not trying to get you not to Kickstarter, but if you can't afford it right now, her previous decks end up on her Etsy and her personal shop, so I can't imagine that this one won't too. So let's say you can't pack it right now, but it's something you'd like to get in the future. No, this is not your only opportunity. And she has a tier where I believe, if you're early bird, so like you get it to think today, if I'm loading this at the right time, you can get all of her decks at a very steep discount. And I think it's all of them. And it's decks, altar cloths, and sticker sheets. And you can do wholesale if you're someone who has a shop. And so that is let me make sure I pronounced, I don't know if I'll have pronounced it right, but the Ventum Arcanae, the Bird Tarot. And like I said, all of her decks are beautiful. She's also an amazing artist. And I would say in the interactions I've had with her, just briefly, like things, like you're asking a question over Etsy, or like I won a giveaway she was having on Instagram. She's so generous. Like, I think when I bought on Etsy like a year or two ago, in a moment of madness, I think I bought like all of her decks, which is insane. She like gave me the altar cloths and sticker, you know what I mean? It was something, I guess, as sort of like, thank you for spending so much money. I don't know. I think that's how it was one of those where I was like, I mean, maybe they came with it and I just didn't realize. But I remember when I opened the box, I was like, holy shit. So it just seems like a very generous person, very nice person, very creative artist, beautiful work. Highly recommend. The only thing I'd say, like, if there's one downside, and this really isn't a downside, it's just that I'm such a big guidebook person. Like, I love, a big guidebook. Is the guidebooks are usually small. Like, there's a little bit written for each card and information, like on the creature you're seeing, things like that, which is really cool. I just love big thick guidebook that has like a page for each card. That's nothing against the deck. That's more that, like, if you're a guidebook person, don't be expecting like an enormous guidebook. But there is. It's not just the cards by themselves. There's descriptions, usually about each of the what you're seeing in the card. So yeah, so I highly recommend. Like I said, highly recommend this deck. And I think it just came out today. I'm really trying to get this one out there fast. So hopefully it'll expose more people. I think, like I've said in the past, like when I was first starting to like collect decks, I didn't really understand Kickstarter, and I didn't really know what to do or where to look, what to trust, whatever. So I like doing these, highlighting the ones I like, whether I can afford to get them right now or not, because I want to connect people to decks, especially to indie decks, because I want to be connected to indie decks that I like, and it can be hard sometimes. You're just kind of like randomly watching people's YouTubes, or search on Etsy, and Etsy can be a nightmare to search, or just Googling or looking on Reddit. There's some independent shops that feature indie decks. So anyway, this is just me rambling, but hopefully if this deck connects with you, you'll go support it. And again, if not, even if it connects with you and you can't support it right now, I think 99.9% chance you'll have it in her shops once the Kickstarter's been fulfilled. So my guess would be very late 2025 or early 2026 would be my guess. She didn't say that, so don't hold her to that. That's just my guess. And so thanks for listening today, and I hope to see you soon.